Hello, Emma McNally here from Achieve Your Greatness, and today we're going to be looking at a great tool for problem solving. So this is fabulous if you have got a tiny problem or a big problem, and it just helps you to come up with your own solution, okay? So have you ever had a time when maybe you were doing a crossword puzzle or a Sudoku and you'd got stuck? And you walked away, grabbed yourself a cup of tea, came back, and there was the answer in front of you. Or if any of you do jigsaw puzzles, get to a point where you get stuck and you can't find that last bit, those few pieces to finish off, Come back to it later on and it all fits into place, nice and easily. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is this tool to enable you to do that, to be able to free up your conscious capacity, your focus, to enable you to come up with your own solution. So they reckon, the cognitive load theory people reckon, that we have a limited conscious capacity. What that means is that we can focus at any one time on 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of information. Okay, that's all we can focus on. So if you're Einstein, you may be around the 7, 8, 9. If you're the average person before coffee in the morning, you may find it's around 1 or 2. Definitely for me before my tea. So what this is about is if you've ever been, to a bar and ordered a round of drinks, and by the time you've got to the 3rd, 4th, 5th person, you're like, what did they want again? And they'd forgotten. Or maybe you had a list of things and you'd forgotten by the time you got to 5 or 6 what it was if you hadn't written it down, if you were going to the supermarket shopping. So we have that limited conscious capacity, whereas our unconscious mind is expansive. It basically runs the blueprint of our health and everything else. It's our storehouse of wisdom. So what we're going to be focusing on today is how can we enable ourselves to have more conscious capacity to solve a problem. Now, the reason why I love this is that this can be a big problem or a small problem. It doesn't matter. And what also is the reason why I really love it is because you're going to come up with your own solution. Okay, you're going to have some space to do it and a tool and a structure to enable you to do that. So have you ever had a problem and you've gone and spoken to somebody about it and all you wanted was just a sounding board, somebody just to listen, and they were jumping in going, oh, well, what you should do is, and what you should do is, well, that's great because people want to help you. Totally get that. How does that feel though? Do you take on their advice? Do you really own it? Well, sometimes maybe, but sometimes it's better if you come up with your own conclusions, okay? So that's what this tool enables you to do. Now, ideally, you would work with a partner to work on this. However, I've used it on my own very easily, so you can adapt it. So if you are on your own and you want to use it, you absolutely can. It's very simple. So what we do is you identify the problem you want to work with. So that's the first thing you do. And then you get somebody to ask you the question, tell me about your problem. Okay, so tell me about your problem. Now, the person that asks that then zips, is totally quiet and lets you speak. Okay, so I've done this, like I say, on my own, and I would say, okay, so tell me about your problem. And I would then speak out what that problem is. And you wait until they get to a point where they're pretty much exhausted all of the conversation they want around that problem. Okay, their attention is fixed on it and that you've got to that point. You then say, okay, great. Now, number 2, tell me about something you love. Okay, so that can be anything, doesn't have to be related, can be anything at all. And again, the person that asks the question zips up, is quiet, and just listens. Okay, you can do the nodding and the so that you can show them that you are truly listening, but it's all about just listening and for you to just talk about something you love until the attention is fixed on what you love. Then the person will say, okay, so tell me about your problem again. And again, you talk about the problem until your attention is fixed, until you've said all you want to say. Okay, great. So tell me about something you love. It can be the same thing or it can be something different, entirely up to you. And you repeat this over and over and over. And And till you get to a point where a number of things might happen. Your problem changes, you resolve it, you may even get bored of your own problem, or something shifts for you. Okay, so that's what this is all about, is just to explore this, because what can happen is we just loop at the first part. Yeah, we just go over and over in our mind. Have you ever had that over in your mind, a problem? Whereas this takes you to the next level to actually give yourself some conscious capacity, some space to come to your own conclusion. Now, I've used this recently with all sorts of things in terms of my business that was going on to have a real clear plan as to how to move forward. So have a play with it, have some fun. If you do have any questions, please do either message me or contact me via the website, which is www.achieveyourgreatness.co.uk. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.